Hi, my head's going to be cut off, but hi. So let's see if we can set up a sterile field. So I've performed hand hygiene, and I've checked the patient's identification. I've introduced myself, and I verified the procedure that we're going to do. So first, I'm going to check the packaging. I see that it expires in 2024, so that's good. No tears, no moisture, so it should maintain a sterile field. Okay, so let's see what we have. I'm going to open it up. Drop my garbage on the ground. Okay. I'm going to set it in the middle. Okay. I know this isn't waist height, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to take the very outer surface. I'm going to first unwrap it away from me, keeping my arm to the side of this sterile field. Here is the other corner. The 1-inch margin around the entire sterile field is considered contaminated. Here's the other corner. And last but not least, I'm going to unwrap the corner facing me, still maintaining, a minimum of 6 inches away from my body. And it's important to make sure that everything is kept above my waist, in this case above the table, otherwise it will be considered contaminated. So let's do adding something to a sterile field. So these are sterile gloves. I'm going to oh, I thought that was going to come the other way, but it's all right. I'm going to let the package go down over my non-dominant hand, and I need to place it within the sterile field, away from the 1-inch margins. And shoot, this I have to open some more, so I'm going to touch that again. I'm going to open it up. I think I was supposed to do this first. I'm still only touching the outside. I'm going to put this right here. There's a dog. Put it right here. So I'm only touching the outside. Okay. And again, I'm keeping my arms from going over the top. Okay, now I have a little bit of an issue because one of my gloves is folded in half, so I'll have to, that's a real world problem. Okay, so adding items to a sterile field, I guess I could, this is sterile right now, but if I needed to, I could put those in the sterile field. An irrigation liquid, I can add that to the side, not onto the sterile field. And I'm going to look at the label. I'm going to have the label facing me when I set it down on the table, looking to see what it is. I'm also thinking, does that match what it is that we're doing? Oh, this looks like an irrigation supply. Okay, yes, that makes sense. The expiration date on here, it's good. It expires in 6/14 of 2020. So I'm going to have that next to the sterile field, label facing me. Okay, and So I'm going to don gloves. The first glove I see is cuffed over. I'm going to go, okay, for that glove, I need to glove my dominant hand first. So, oh, crap. Okay, sterile field just went out the window. I would have to get a whole new set. I don't have a whole new set. This is what I'm faced with. They're not situated properly. So again, I want to reopen this package, do everything new because the sterile field was contaminated. As you can see, it had slipped down. When I opened it up, I want to do my dominant hand first, although this one I can't really get to, so I'm going to go ahead with this one, and I want to put my hand, I suppose I could just turn this over since it's the left hand. Looks like my thumb is going to be on the right side. Yeah, I think so. Okay. So I can't touch the glove or my hands or anything else. Of course, my hands are sweaty because it's hot today. All right, I need to make sure I get this right thumb. Oh my gosh. And they're really small. Okay. All right, let's wing it. Okay. Okay. They're way too small, and it's really sweaty. Okay. Right. This is a little tricky. Oh my. Okay. All right, so I'm putting my thumb underneath on the non-sterile side to kind of guide it up. Whoop! I can't go in that sterile field. The cuff is sliding up. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to have to stop, and with my other sterile hand, I'm going to have to fix this. Okay, I'm going to let go because I can't touch anymore. All right. That's kind of pathetic. So with this hand, I'd like to go underneath the cuff. I think I got to turn it over since we're doing this backwards. Oh, Lord. Okay. And it's all folded up. Here we go. All right. So ideally, I'm gonna put my fingers in this cuff, and then I'm gonna put it over this hand, although I'm not really sure which way it goes. I think there's the thumb. So I'm gonna put it down. I still have to keep myself away from the sterile field. Oh, that's nice. It just keeps, that's nice. All right, let's try it like this. Fingers under the cuff. Actually, I don't see why it even needs to be. Yeah, it does need to be under the cuff. Okay. I didn't think this would be the difficult part. Okay. So my fingers are under the cuff, so I can try to part it a little bit. Somehow shove my hand in here and make it work. God, these are made for children. Okay. I want to try to keep a cuff on the outside. Oh, God. can't go in there with my sterile hand, so I'm still staying within that cuff. Okay, Lord. All right, so I'm stuck. Let's see if I can do this without breaking sterile field. I'm gonna let go. Still need that cuff. I'm gonna get it, but now this is sterile and this is sterile, so I'm still keeping it away from me, above waist level. So if a 10-year-old wanted to put their hand in this, you know, that's what this is for. I have small hands, but dang. Okay, so I don't seem to be contaminating the field yet. That's my biggest concern. Now I got air in there and I got balloons. Okay, ideally I would have gotten a larger size. All right, I need to stay there. I'm going to stay away from this area. Now let's see if I can. Ooh. All right, we're going to have to make this work. Okay. I don't know if you can still see. All right, I got to use my elbows here. Let's see if you can still see that. Yeah, okay. All right, so as I'm walking, I would want to do this and keep my hands above so that I don't contaminate anything. Okay. All right, so if I come over here, I need to set this up. I'm going to set that to the side. Again, staying within the away from the 1-inch margins. This looks like a syringe. Oh, okay. I need to drop water. Okay, I'm going to place that back here. You can't see it, but it's within the sterile field. And I didn't take the lid off of this. I didn't take the lid off of that. Okay, well, all right, if I had, wait a minute, hang on. Let's go, we're back over to here. This is still sterile. Hands are touching it. In the center. Fold it in half so that my hands still touch only the sterile center. Troubleshooting here. Okay. That label needs to stay facing me. See, now I'd have to worry about, okay, see when I turn? I don't know if you can see, you can't really see, but the corner of this, of the underside, the non-sterile actually touched the corner of this irrigation basin. Okay. See if my, please start working. Okay, well, I don't think that that's sterile. Okay, this I don't want to put down because if I put it down, the top is not sterile, so it can't go in the sterile field. So I'd want to keep it in this hand I'm gonna drop that. At this point, I would open this. I would open this, and I would don new gloves. I don't have any more gloves, but I can't assume this wasn't. It didn't have a plastic ring around it. I cannot assume that this is sterile. So I'm gonna end up contaminating my gloves by opening this. Now I'm touching the bottle. Graciousness. Okay. On the ground. All right. Taking gloves off, I will show you later. Minimum of supplies, so we're going to do this. So the corner of here was touched, so this is an unsterile field now. I would want to hold this from pouring a sterile solution if it was done sterilely. I'm going to be picking it up with the label facing me, and I would want to hold it about 1 inch above the reservoir here. Okay, I'm going to pour it in there. If there was some left, okay, if I had done all of this and with a completely separate pair of gloves, I would have poured it. I would have continued to have held this. I would have capped it again, and then I would have written on here the date and time, if there was still liquid in there, that it was opened, because it would be good for, depending on policy procedures, or I'm sorry, the protocol, it could be good for another 40 or 24 hours, I should say. Okay. So for the skill of sucking up fluid, so that was there. And if I had to do this congruently, where I had already touched that, and let's say this hand was not involved, this hand's still sterile, but this one isn't, I would need to take this and I would need to draw it up with one hand. Goodness, that is hard. Okay. All right. So if you're in the middle of procedure, you can't stop, I guess. So we're gonna continue as if I have a unsterile hand, only one hand. So I'd like to go depending on where the patient is and where I need it. Ideally, I'd like to go to the side, or like this, to fill this container, because I don't want to have my arm over the center. Let's try that again. We're going to suck it up with one hand. I'm going to put it in there. Okay. Now, so I was hurrying up and I got careless at the end. There is some moisture that dripped from here, down here, and here. So now that there's moisture there, it is no longer sterile. Okay, so I've just ruined all these supplies. Okay. Well, there goes that. So that's not coming back. This is something that I would have completely redone. Granted, you only have one chance with sterile, and I don't have any more supplies. But the water that is in this basin here, at least that made it in there. But then again, the corner of this was touched, so it's not sterile anyways. The degloving procedure would be with I would do the non-dominant hand first. Now I'm going to pull down here. Okay. I'm going to pull down here, and then I'm going to roll this hand out. Oh my goodness. And then I'm going to hold this in that hand, and I'm going to use 2 fingers to get underneath. Granted, I'm pretty sure this is cutting off my circulation, but okay. And then I would put that with my other supplies that need to be thrown out. And if there was any bodily fluids or blood or anything on them, I would go ahead and put them in a biohazard, but not right now. And then I would do hand hygiene, make sure all of that is done, completed. So this obviously needs to be redone, but yeah, so I do have some moisture here. But that, at least you got to see a little bit of troubleshooting in there.